opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of Shaw Cable Systems or of the station. Through our access policy, we provide the opportunity for community groups and individuals to express their points of view.
Welcome to the Fourth Line Hockey Show. I'm your host, Willie Plouffe. I've got my winger back in action, Gerald Haasbeek. Gerald was away a little bit suspended, but he's back in action. How are you today, Beeks?
I'm good. I'm wearing the Slovakian jersey today in honor of the show I missed with Andy Kolar, who's got Slovakian descent. So.
It was a great show, Gerald. We talked with Andy Kolar, talking all about his upcoming. He's from the hood where we're from, you know.
Yeah, what a rise, from playing high school hockey at River East, grade 10, to starting for the Sioux, winning a national championship for the Sioux Hockey UND. So that's, it doesn't get any better than that.
Doesn't get any better than that. I'm sporting, the LA Kings, but this is old retro River East Royal colors, Royal Knights, major junior team. Us guys, we played there. We played AAA, AA growing up. Our guest today, he's, he's from the hood. He played in the same spot. Bernie Reichardt, Director of Hockey Operations, coming in. We've had him on before, Gerald. Well, we're going to have him here again, talking a little bit about what he does at Hockey Manitoba.
Yeah, Bernie, good Elmwood kid, tough as nails. I don't know.
I don't know about that. Hold on a second. Does he still go in the corners? I don't know about that.
I've seen him on the ice. He's pretty good with the kids now, so, he's shed that rough exterior that he had growing up. We know that.
Well, we know it. Back in the day playing with Bernie, the puck go in the corner, you say, Willie, you go first. I'll be right behind you. I always took care of you. Nothing's changed. But we're bringing him on the show after. We're going to talk a little bit about what Bernie does. I know they just finished the POE, which is pretty big, and he'll describe that whole scenario, what the POE is for players upcoming and being looked at through the program of Hockey Manitoba.
Yeah, good for parents and for kids, learning about what opportunities are out there for them in their hockey career and everything like that. So, he'll shed a lot of light on that, a lot of stuff we don't know, and we've been involved in the hockey thing our whole life. So
we were just talking about that earlier off air with Bernie, direction of kids going and how they can be guided in the proper, starting off young, looking at where they want to go, and also going to tackle. This has been a hot topic, spring hockey. We're going to talk a little bit with Bernie about spring hockey also.
Yeah, a lot of information, a lot of misinformation out there, and people don't really, get how much, playing hockey all the time. Should there be more skill development? Should they be playing other sports? There's certain things that you get from soccer and baseball and lacrosse that you might not get in hockey that would actually benefit you throughout the year. So, it is a great debate right now in the city, for sure, since that article that was in the Free Press, for sure.
And that is so true. And we've always talked about playing hockey, playing any sport, as long as the kids are contributing and, having fun and keeping their athleticism going and being involved in team stuff is pretty good. So we're going to break off right now. When we return, we're going to come back with Bernie Reichardt from Hockey Manitoba, Director of Hockey Operations, talking a whole bunch of hockey stuff. Get right back at you.
Close your eyes and count away. No, don't, 'cause I can't wait. Everything is free in this field of fantasy.
At Shaw, bear hugs take on a whole new meaning. Since 1989, we've given more than 335,000 Shaw bears to children when they need them the most, because we believe that one bear hug is great, but endless bear hugs are amazing.
Even if you don't have insurance, your dentist can help you get the dental care you need.
Your dentist can help you assess the benefits of treatment and the consequences of avoiding it before any decisions are made, whether you're insured or not.
Only your dentist has the education and expertise to diagnose and treat all of your oral health needs.
To find out more, visit manitobadentist.ca.
Talk to your dentist. Good for you. Good for life.
You don't need a media monkey to make healthy choices. Think for yourself. A message from Concerned Children's Advertisers.
Back at Royal Sports Shop here, the Fourth Line Hockey Show. We got a great show today, Gerald. I tell you, we got Bernie Reichardt in from Hockey Operations. We're ready to rock. You're wearing a great shirt. I'm sporting a good shirt. Gerald, how you feel today, buddy?
I'm excited. Every show, and it may sound a little cliche, I learn a little bit about something. The Sledge Hockey Show, learn a little something about the programs going on at Hockey Manitoba. So, yeah, let's get at her.
Let's get at her. Every year, every year things change in Hockey Manitoba. Let's bring in Bernie Reichardt. Come on in, Bernie. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Bernie, you are a seasoned veteran now at the Fourth Line Hockey Show. I think this is your hat trick. You're on for a third time. We've always talked to you about what's going on with Hockey Manitoba. For the people who haven't seen the show or even know about too much about Hockey Manitoba, explain to them, who is Bernie Reichardt and what do you do over there?
Sure. Well, yeah, as you mentioned, I was the second person in the corner playing with you when we were growing up. But yeah, I'm actually a couple of months away from my 20th year at Hockey Manitoba, and I loved every day of it. It's great. It's great to go every day and work in the game and try to make it better for kids. My role is hockey operations, hockey development, and it's something we take great pride of in our office, and a great number of programs, and we've had other people on the show here from our organization, and as you mentioned, the Program of Excellence ran last weekend, and you were into our busy season. Right now, Bernie, the Program of Excellence, what is that? Well, the Program of Excellence is a Hockey Canada program that basically is the first step for our female and our male players into the high performance programs. We run our camps very similar to how Hockey Canada has asked us in the past. We basically introduce our kids to higher performance hockey, and we take great pride in the coaches we hire and the programs we run, and we try to make it as Hockey Canada high performance like as we can as a member branch of Hockey Canada. Jill, that's pretty interesting. For younger players coming up, that's a stepping stone to go on to for the future with Hockey Manitoba. Yeah, I'm sure there's been a lot of graduates that names that we know. Bernie, any to name a few? Yeah, for sure. Obviously, you can go with the Jonathan Taveses right away, and Cam Barker, and Nigel Dawes, and Dustin Boyd. You can go down the list of real top level players, but some real great players. A player that we're all familiar with from someone from our area. Todd Davison was a great member of our program, and we've had some real great people come through our program, and that's the thing I think we're the most proud of. Jennifer Botterill and Sammy Joe were in our program back a few years ago. So we've had some real great people, and to me it's about great people. There are a lot of great hockey players in this country, but I always tell people that we have in our programs, it's about great people. Great people make better hockey players. Now, Bernie, you mentioned about the coaching, and for this team here, you got Dougie Sinclair and Wayne Bartley, right? They're part of the coaching staff of this squad coming up? That's right, yeah. Rob Smith is the other assistant, and Dennis McNish is our video coach. So, we have a full-time video coach, and that's the way the game's gone. The same thing in our female program. We have 4 staff, and we're actually working on trying to get a full-time goaltending coach as well. So, the game has progressed to that level, and our high performance, I think it's something we owe our players. Now, Bernie, for the coaching staff there, they need to take all their levels, of course, and they have to know the game. And then, like those guys, they're all coaching. I know Smithy, he's coaching Steinbach Pistons. Bartz is with the Wild. Dougie's with the Thrashers, right? So all these coaches have their elite certificates, like they're what they need to be on top of the game, right? They do, yeah. And our coaching program focuses on the athlete, and we try to make sure that our athletes are serviced by coaches to that level. And our coaching program changed a few years ago to make sure that our coaches it's an athlete-centered model, where our coaches are certified to coach kids at that level. And yeah, you're right. I mean, obviously Rob's in the throngs of a series right now with the Blues, and Wayne's going out this week or soon to the TELUS regionals, and so yeah, it's great for our coaches to have some success. I think he's going fishing. Yes, I think he's going to. Yeah, it was a tough series. 3 overtime games, but yeah, Doug's going to hit the course soon here once the snow melts. Sweet, Joe. A lot of good coaches in that, and both boys and girls. A lot of great coaches in the system of Hockey Manitoba. Yeah, and I know myself and you, we've gone through a lot of the programs and that Hockey Manitoba puts out there, and I've played hockey my whole life, but every time I go to a clinic or do something, I do learn something for sure. And I think it's beneficial for parents, for coaches, for anyone, anyone involved in the game of hockey to go to some of the programs that they do offer. So, Bernie, why don't you tell us a little bit more about those programs of coaching and all those things, and maybe some of the developmental things that I know you specialize in. Sure. Yeah, we're certainly excited with our coaching program. As I mentioned, we've changed our coaching program. We've made it in more of an athlete-centered model. And it's something we take great pride in. I've actually worked really extensively in our Coach Mentor program in the last number of years. I'm actually going to be certified as a national skills instructor, I believe they're going to call it, through Hockey Canada. So I'm real excited about that. I like being on the ice, and I like being around coaches and talking with coaches about how to make the game better for the kids.
Coaching, all us guys have coached a long time, and being around coaches, I think it is so interesting and so it's needed to have a good team. Not just one coach having 4 or 5 guys or girls, 5 coaches working together on the same page.
That's the key. Yeah, to me, it's it's about using your coaching staff. And when I talk to our coaches in our mentor clinics, and we specialize in specific things, but I talk to them about the use of coaches and assistant coaches on the ice and how they can benefit and work on teaching individual skill correction and those types of things. It's real important, especially when the younger kids are just learning how to do stuff. It's real important to teach them the proper techniques, and it'll bode well for the future for them.
I'm not going to mention any names, but I was talking to one of the guys who was coaching junior before, and he never got he's assistant coach. They never used him at all. He's out of coaching. He packed it in. He said, why would I want to go? No one's even using me at all. And they want to take control, and I just felt so bad because the guy has a lot of knowledgeable things for hockey.
Well, that's a great segue. You've been involved in hockey for 20 years at the administrative and instructional level. What do you see? You talked about athlete-based programs. How has hockey changed from your perspective over those 20 years?
Well, I think the training has improved a lot. It's the training of our coaches, the training of our players, the need for off-ice training, and the need for the education of our members to making a well-rounded athlete is a better hockey player. You don't need to be on the ice 12 hours or 12 months a year, I should say, to be a top-level player. Our best athletes, John Taze was an exceptional soccer player. Cam Barker was a provincial-level pitcher. So, we have some top-level kids. Jennifer Botterill won provincials in 5 sports. So our best hockey players are our best well-rounded athletes, and we're really trying to get that message out to parents too, that spring hockey is what it is, but I don't criticize anyone for doing anything with their children, but we're trying to make sure that we educate people on a well-rounded hockey player and athlete, makes a better hockey player.
Bernie, that's so true. We're going to break off for the Two Amigos Move of the Day. And the Two Amigos Move of the Day is, cycle the puck in the corner. When we come back, we'll get back with Bernie talking a little bit, going into spring hockey. And I also want to mention before we break off, Bernie did bring up baseball. Bernie did play some good ball also. Be right back at you.
I thought indoor tanning was safe.
They said their tanning rays were less likely to cause a sunburn.
What you need to know is UV light from indoor tanning
can cause premature aging.
And even worse, UV light can increase your risk of skin cancer,
including melanoma, the deadliest form of skin cancer.
In fact, current estimates are that 1 in 7 Canadians will develop skin cancer.
And 1 person dies from skin cancer about every 7 hours.
I don't want to be one of them.
This message brought to you by the Canadian Dermatology Association.
Mom, here's the mail.
Thanks, sweetie.
Mom, can I grab $20 from you today?
Yeah, sure, that's okay.
Cool, thanks.
Right back at Royal Sports Shop, Fourth Line Hockey Show, talking a little bit with Bernie Reichardt, Director of Hockey Operations. Before we went off air there, we talked about different sports, and, the big issues come out ever since that article from Winnipeg Free Press about, spring hockey. Bernie talked about, playing different sports, and we've always talked about, and this is a good topic. We always have some fun, you and I, chatting about that, Gerald. What do you think about that?
Well, it's kind of ironic. We're in the lacrosse aisle at the store here.
Yeah.
You look at all the Joe Nieuwendijks of the world. They played lacrosse, developed some good hand-eye coordination, some other skills, maybe some toughness too. It's a rough sport. There's soccer, there's baseball, there's other things too, right? And it's a big debate. Are you missing out? playing those 3 tournaments and those extra ice times? Or are there benefits you get from playing other sports? And, let's be honest, there was a great quote in that article that you referenced about, they were talking about 2 teams, and roughly the same percentage of players from each team will make the NHL, 0. And at the end of the day, what's hockey about? It's meeting people, having fun. At the end of the day, it's a pretty exclusive club, the NHL. So.
Big time, and that's something to remember here, people. Is that us 3 guys right here, we grew up together playing hockey, and we become friends because of hockey. And we still play hockey at at our level. I know Chipman's called me once in a while, come up and have to say no. But you guys, I understand that. I understand.
Well, you put the gear on and you go, but I don't know if I'd call what you do hockey.
Up and down, working hard, Bernie. So let's talk about, Bernie, your thoughts and feelings. And I know you work for Hockey Manitoba, so you have to be a little bit careful here a little bit. So let's talk on the fact about spring hockey. How do you feel about that?
Well, as I mentioned before in the last segment, I don't. Spring hockey is what it is. It's everything has its place. I guess our responsibility as an organization is to, what Gerald mentioned, talk about what other sports help as a cross-training situation. A well-balanced approach to raising your children. I worked on an athlete development model through Hockey Canada about long-term athlete development, and it's about being a physically literate person. A person that can run, jump, throw, catch, skate. Those are the athletes that we need to start producing, those well-rounded athletes, and that's our responsibility, I think, as an organization, to try to educate our members on that exact point.
I think, and that's very true. An athlete is an athlete, and you can become an athlete when you start working a little bit more and do more things. But natural athletes, you see, they can play baseball, they can pick up a ball in basketball. They swim like champs. It just happens, right? And as long as you're playing continuous sports or any athletic adventure you're doing, it's going to help out.
For sure, and that's, and again, as I mentioned, we have to make sure we start to educate our members on that. It's, people don't understand what they don't understand sometimes, and feel that maybe that they're going to fall behind if they don't have their kids involved in hockey. Hockey's a passion in our country, and you certainly understand that kids want to do it, but I think as parents, I certainly take it, and my wife and I take it as our responsibility to make sure that we have well-rounded kids, and we take it very seriously about having our kids involved in multiple things and multiple experiences. Life's about experiences and growing and learning from them. So that's what we're big on.
Gerald, in spring hockey, we've always debated a little bit, and I've never brought this topic up, but I'm going to bring this one up. What kind of irks me a little about spring hockey is that we coach all year, right? You coach in wintertime, and you have parents and players want to go to spring hockey in December, November, December. They're running it all year. You're playing winter hockey. You should be focused on that winter hockey. I don't agree with the teams that are running practice all year round and you're taking away from the team in wintertime.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things is, the thought with your winter hockey team is, and I'm sure this is the same as Hockey Manitoba, you're there to provide a place for kids to play hockey. Now, we've all had situations that maybe we weren't happy with, but the end goal is, to equal ice time, fun up to a certain level until you get into the AAAs and things become a little bit more competitive. But, it's nice to know that there's a governing body there that you can go and say, look, what's going on here? And winter hockey is about that. And, unregulated hockey isn't. And, you may not know what you're getting yourself into. I work at a hockey store here. It's good for us to have hockey year round. But, there are other things. There's benefits. I coached soccer last year, and I had a blast. And I actually learned a lot about, spacing and some other things that really apply well into hockey. And there's a lot of crossover between all the sports and drills you can do and things like that. So, and I know Bernie and our audience might not know this, but Bernie's got a heavy skill development background. And I think a lot of parents are worried about their kids losing the skills, but it seems to be predominantly games. So, and Bernie, what the practice to game ratio, what's your perspective on that? What should parents be worried about there?
Well, we preach a 2-to-1 practice to game ratio. It's always tough, obviously. I think we need to, another thing we need to probably do a better job of is educating our members on split ice practices. A practice doesn't have to be on ice. It can be getting your team together and working on, team building stuff. There are different ways to do a practice, but I guess, as you mentioned, the end result is cross training in other sports and learning those things. And I'll get back to your point about the spring hockey and skill development. I really think skill development's important. We had a successful season. My son plays AAA hockey, and my nephew does, and they both were successful in winning the city championships, which is great. My daughter started back in hockey this year, and we had I thought a successful season. We went through the playoffs fairly well, and I thought we provided ourselves well on the ice. But to me, it's the long term and remembering the long-term fun stuff. It's the knee ball in the hotel rooms, and people don't remember scores of games 5 years down the road. They remember the experiences they had in the game, and to me, I think we need to get back maybe focused on a little bit more about what we're there for, and it's making the game fun for the kids, trying to teach them a little bit, and about camaraderie. And I don't think I play as equal ice time as I can. There's no such thing as equal, but fair ice time. And it's a tough thing. It's especially you get pressure from different people, you get pressure from organizations, and I'm really going to start to focus a little bit more of my energies maybe on the associations and talking to them about helping the coaches a little bit more and focusing less on winning and more on what kids get out of the game and the long-term benefits of it.
Bernie, that is so true, and the memories are so important. Were you on the squad that year we went to Lloydminster?
I was, yes.
That's a quick story. Bernie and I were on the same team playing AAA Royals, playing in Lloydminster. We're in overtime playing against the host team, championship AAA tournament. Plouffe gets a shot off his butt, top corner. We win in OT.
That's right, we did, yeah.
Byron Yacobo took that shot, bounced off the Plouffe's left butt cheek, top corner, championship. Those are memories, Bernie.
Yeah, they are. Well, for sure. And that's the lowest shot I think Byron ever took in his life. But I certainly went in front of the net for a few headhunter ones. But those are the things you remember. And what I remember about that tournament was when McMahon was wearing the headband, so we all had the headbands on, and it's just those are the things I remember as much about that as obviously we won the tournament, which is great, but those are the things I remember too, and those are memories I carry with me all the time, and it's friendships you make in the game, like you mentioned before, and that's how I got to know you two guys for when I was young, and you carry friendships through your life, and who cares what the score was at a game in January? I don't remember any scores. Those aren't the memories I think of.
I know I have one fond memory of Haasbeek's big guy, Mr. Haasbeek, going to the Royal Sports Shop on Raleigh, and I had a buck in my pocket, and I tried to get him down for an ice cream for 50 cents, and he made me stand there for 10 minutes, and then he gave me a Tiger ice cream for 2 bits. It was so good. Gerald, we talked about the spring hockey and all the involvement of other sports and that. I think it's big that, we talk about this issue, and as long as kids are doing other things, right, and being organized and being involved in some athletic part.
Yeah, and I just think it's, I think Bernie, and I don't know if you said it, but, relating, are we missing out? We're not in the in club.
And everybody thinks that. They think
and I think there's nothing wrong with taking a few months. You want to enroll your kid in a summer camp, prepare them. But like Bernie said, there's a lot of things you can do. Shoot the puck in the driveway. Practice your stick handling in the basement, right? What was the Wickenheiser on that commercial, shooting it against the dryer?
Right, Crosby.
Yeah. So, nothing's predetermined. You don't know how or what path your kid's going to take, and I agree with Bernie wholeheartedly. I coached this year, and we were lucky enough my daughter's team ended up winning our division or whatever it was, and the kids, they don't remember the scores all the time. They just remember the friendships and the fun they had playing hockey, and at the end of the day, that's the same reason we're still playing, right?
Oh, that's huge. The boys won our 13A1, won the city championships right to Gabon's Pizza. Johnny Stewart, the head coach, we all went to Gabon's Pizza right after. They remember remember the kids hammering like 32 pizzas, and, having that banner up. That's what they remember. We're gonna, I'm gonna put Jill on the spot right now because every time we break off, we go to the Ice Traders quote of the day. So Jill, I hope you're prepared for this one. Big.
Well, I'm just gonna re-say the one I said earlier, and that reference from that article in the Free Press about spring hockey. They talked about two teams. One was a bit more of an elite team, one was more of a moderate team. And the quote was, same percentage of both kids are roughly going to make the NHL. 0. So it's all about fun.
That is so true. Breaking off from the Ice Traders quote of the day. We'll be right back at you.
Kidney disease affects an estimated 2 million Canadians. Many don't even know they have it. But thanks to the Kidney Foundation of Canada's innovative programs and vital research, countless people have been able to turn to us to help them manage, delay, and in some cases even prevent the disease. We're the Kidney Foundation of Canada. Please support us. We're behind you, all the way.
Work shouldn't hurt, but nearly 100 Manitobans are reported hurt at work each day. And back injuries are among the most painful and most common. Nearly 1/3 of all soft tissue injuries are back-related. Most of these injuries are preventable if we spot the hazard, assess the risk, find a safer way every day. Order Back to Basics to learn about safer work practices by calling or logging on to safemanitoba.com.
Right back at you at Fourth Line Hockey Show. We talked about spring hockey with Bernie Reichardt. Now, Jill, I want to talk a little bit with Bernie. Explain to the people out there, if you're a young player, young individual coming up, how you can get involved in the POE, how you get involved with Hockey Manitoba, Hockey Canada. What steps as a future young player want to be part of that, Bernie? Can you guide the people out there?
Sure, yeah. I mean, our program of excellence basically is born out of the fact that, I think we have better coaches and we need to teach skills at a young age. And if the more we teach kids the skills and the concepts of the game, I think that's probably the best step for me to say that I can't say to the 10-year-old's going to make it in the POE when he's 15 or 14, right? You just don't know that. Obviously, what we can do is, as an organization, is train our coaches to make sure that our athletes are getting the most information they can about how to play the game, and obviously the information I mentioned earlier about being a well-rounded athlete. I think that makes a better hockey player. They can certainly follow our program of excellence and the steps we have on our website, hockeymanitoba.ca, but they're certainly welcome to do that. To me, it's about just working on your skills, being a good teammate, being a good hockey player. Respecting the game. I'm big about respect. I'm respect about your own teammates, about the opposing teammates, the coaches and the referees and the administrators of our game. And I often say I get asked to do a lot of speaking engagements, and I often say that there's no one bigger than this game. And I'm certainly in that category. There's I have so much respect for the game, and as I said, 20 years in this business, and I still every day have nothing but the utmost respect for it. So from our POE to our kids that are just learning how to play the game, it's important for me to be involved in all aspects of that, and to get to the finishing of where I was getting to is to get to the POE. You got to work hard with your team every day.
It's a team thing, right? You got to have a couple of players or a whole team squad. You work out together, do some things together, have some fun, and it builds your character.
Yeah, for sure. And I was lucky enough to skate on the outdoor rinks of Morse Place with Bernie, and I'm trying to remember who was the Bernie trying to emulate. Who was your favorite player growing up, Bernie?
Well, I'm not sure if you ever see me skate, but then not anyone good. No, I actually liked. I liked Guy Lafleur when I was young. I liked we only had two stations. We only saw the Leafs or the Canadians, and I really liked the Guy Lafleurs. I liked skill. I loved the skill of the game and players who could do things at as high a pace as possible. So I really liked him when I was young. I tried to emulate Wayne Gretzky when he started to play, and I love players that have skill, and the players I started liking later, who I again get back to respect and class for the game, are the Steve Yzermans and the Joe Sakic's of the world. And those guys to me are, they're all about class. I've worked a lot with Sammy Joe Small, some of our female high performance athletes, and they're just real good people that care about the game. So.
Well, that is great. The Fourth Line Hockey Show wants to thank Bernie Reichardt here from Hockey Manitoba, Director of Hockey Operations. We covered tons of stuff, Jerry, about the POE, spring hockey, and all the positive things about being an athlete and being part of a unit. I think it's very important.
Yeah, and just like Bernie said, the game, it's the reason we're all here. It's fun. It's fun to play still, respect the game. I recall you saying your favorite hockey player was Harold Sneps because you thought you looked like him, right?
We talked off air. Jerry hasn't given it to me, but I tell you, it was Dave Brown, as Jerry would say, the Darth Vader of the team. See you guys next week.
The opinions expressed on the program you have just watched are not necessarily those of Shaw Cable Systems or of this station. Through our access policy, we provide the opportunity for community groups and individuals to express their points of view.